welcome to this look at a new mod that came out on Thursday the 9th, the packing facility. This is kind of a guide to look at how it works, what you get type video with me, MrSealyp. Right then, the packing facility by CookieCat, 39.18 megabytes download. I've done this separate to the rest of the mods that came out on Thursday the 9th, simply because there was a lot to this, a lot of information, and there was a lot of setup time. So I'm set up, I've done some prep, buckle in, there's a lot to take in. This mod aims to, it says, motivate players to produce everything the game has to offer. Now, I'm going to look specifically at what comes in this pack, but I've also added in some bits that would come from other production chains, so I'll explain all that as we go through. What do we get in this pack? We get a carpentry, a dairy, a grain mill, an Otis factory, food factory basically, spinnery, sugar mill, packing facility, and sell point. We'll go into the build mode and go on to productions, and I will scroll across and we'll have a look. So, prices wise, they're pretty much like, well, pretty much standard for what the in-game ones are. So if you're using the in-game ones, you can use these to replace in-game ones if you want to. Instead of, you can still produce all the stuff you usually do, but these come with some extras as well. So with the carpentry there, that's 13 slots, 60 grand. We have got the sugar mill. I've put them out in the order they were on the actual mod hub on the list, the information sheet. In here they're a little bit different. The sugar mill, 16 slots, 80 grand. The grain mill is 15 slots, 86 grand. The spinnery is 12 slots and 60 grand. The food factory, Otis, so that's food factory, that's 17 slots, 90 grand. Dairy will sit at 17 slots and is 70 grand. And then we've got the packing facility, which is quite expensive. But the packing facility is what can make you mega money. I mean, this is a mega money maker. This, if you go into the depths of doing all of the productions, everything this requires you to make, I would say you deserve the payment that comes out at the end. That being said, you don't have to have the packing facility. You can use any of these, you can do the productions, and the things they produce you can just sell directly. You can store, have them come out as pallets, and you can sell the pallets. This also comes with, we go up to along to sell points. It's the one that says 100, which is that one there that has lizard underneath it. That's the sell point that comes with it. So for 100 you place that. I'm going to come out and I'll show you that, and we'll look at the prices because it's quite something. If we scroll down to some of the stuff that is produced by this, and we're going to go into more detail about all the things that it does produce. So we've got crisps, ketchup, salad, syrups, pellets, soy milk, foods. We'll get actually, I don't want to go into those yet. I know I've probably just given that game away. I don't want to go into that yet. Up one. But if you look at each of these, the prices are pretty good. I'm on normal economy. Obviously, easy economy is going to be better pricing. So any one of these pallets we can sell just as they are if we want to. Like any of the production chains, we can just crack on and get on with it. So in front of me then, I've got the carpentry. As I said, it's 13 slots. I have got some pallets already coming out here because I wanted to see some of the new stuff. This is wood pellets that this will produce. And then we'll go on to the next one. We're going to have a look in all the menus. Actually, you know what? It'd be easier if we do it from here. I'm just thinking the best way of doing this. So Henry's Carpentry Workshop. Let's click on this one first then. So at the top, where it says carpentry, we've got furniture wood, furniture planks, and pellets. Now, I've only put on the right-hand side, I've put planks in and wood chips in. I haven't done any lumber, any regular wood, because what I'm trying to get out of this is furniture, wood chips, and pellets. So if you look at the recipe, if you do furniture wood, your lumber comes in, you get furniture, you get some wood chips. If we're using planks, planks coming in, furniture coming out, and some wood chips. But the addition to this is pellets. Now, if I wanted to, I could just deliver wood chips. If I'm wood chipping somewhere else, if I've got somebody else producing wood chips, I could just bring wood chips to here and just produce pellets if I want to. Now, at the moment, I've got wood chips on storing because I want to use those to produce pellets. But the other one, planks, I've got on distributing. Now, all of these now I've got set to distributing, but you can set them distributing, selling, or storing. Storing if you want the pallets to appear. Selling, if you want to do it directly on the hour. Distributing should distribute out to the packing facility. So that's firstly, that's our carpentry. Now I'm going to set that one running and that one running. So what we're going to do now is go along to our dairy. So our dairy is next. The dairy has got some very interesting things added in. If we click on here. So our dairy does butter, cheese, chocolate, which is standard, but it does soy milk as well. Required inputs, milk, sugar and soybeans. And again, we can set whichever one we want. We can just do butter, we can do cheese, we can do chocolate. But if you want to do soy milk, you only need soybean and sugar for doing that. Again, I've got these all in distributing. I think I've got a pallet of soy milk. I'm going to show you in a minute to see. But what we'll do is, I think I'm going to set them all off on distributing. Again, hopefully this will work. So yeah, soy milk's a new one on that one. Then next door to that, we've got our grain mill. Now our grain mill is fairly standard. If I click on that one, we're on the next one down. So we've got wheat, barley, oat flour, sorghum flour, and then we've got mixed grains flour. So if you click that one as well, it's using all four of them combined to give you additional flour on top. So I can have them all on, have them all chugging, and I might as well, because why not? So I'm going to set all of those on to distributing. Now these would all link into other processes you've got running. One that I haven't placed is the bakery. I haven't placed the tailors because they're not part of this pack. Let's say I wanted to show you things that are in this pack, and then we'll go on in a bit more detail to what happens after that. So that's that one. The next one is the food factory. Now this is the Otis, the food factory. This is an interesting one. So what we've got here is some pallets of crisps. That's one of the things we're going to get out of here. Now this gets a little bit scary. If you look bottom right, the inputs for this are bonkers. So if I scroll down now, so this will produce cereal, ketchup, salad and crisps. But our inputs are honey, raisins, oat, corn, tomato, sugar, lettuce, olive oil, potatoes and sunflower oil. So that's taking in so much other stuff in the productions. You're going to need to do bees, you're going to need to do grapes for the raisins, you're going to have to harvest corn, you're going to have to do greenhouses for your tomatoes and lettuce. So it really is encompassing everything you can do on production chains, not just production chains, everything you can do in the game, because we've already seen we're going to need wheat and barley and oats and sorghum. In this case we've got oats, but it also needs corn. Potatoes is down here as well. We're going to need all of those things. We're going to put in as inputs. Now I can just run cereal and sell that if I want to, requiring honey, raisins, oats and corn. Ketchup is just tomatoes and sugar, so if I wanted to I could just have this running and just do that. Salad, tomatoes, lettuce and olive oil, and then crisps, potatoes and sunflower oil. So already in my head I'm thinking, okay, let's play and run at the moment. I've got sunflower oil, I've got potatoes. If I'm going to place an oats like cereal factory anyway, why not place this one, because it gives me some other options. So a lot of inputs on this one. I've got them all on distributing. I think I've got them all on distributing now. Cereal, ketchup, salad, crisps I have, so I'm going to set all those off running. Next over here we've got our spinnery. Now the spinnery will take wool, it will take cotton, and it will do a combination of both. So if we click on that one, we'll see here we've got fabric wool, fabric cotton and batch fabric mixed materials, so that will combine both. Now I've only got wool because on console I was trying to work out a way of getting cotton. It used to be you could drive one of the cotton harvesters underneath one of the binding points and it would put bales in, but I can't seem to get that to work. It doesn't matter, because what my output needs to be is fabric. That's all I'm looking for from this. So I'm going to set that off and running. That's on distributing as well. All good to go. Then we've got the sugar mill over here, and the sugar mill is another one that's got quite a lot of inputs. But one of the things this is outputting is syrup. So we've got pallets of syrup. Oh, I didn't show you. I've shown you the pellets. Around the back of the dairy was soy milk. We'll see a pallet of that in a minute, but let's put it on the light so we can see. So you get pallets of soy milk. Like I said, you can sell those directly if you want to. And then we go around to the front of here. We'll click on this and you'll see now on the sugar mill. So we've got sugar beet cut and sugar cane, which is what a standard one does. We've got mixed materials, so that will do sugar beet cut and sugar cane. all mixed in together, so it gives you another output, so you're getting high production. It also, if you put sorghum into here, which is another input, sorghum and straw here, so sorghum and straw will produce syrup, apparently. So syrup's a new one that we're going to get coming out of here. Again, I've got both those set to distributing. Hopefully they're going to go to the right places. Now, it's all very exciting. So those are the main productions that are now producing what I need them to produce. And like I say, the sell point I've placed, and I can take any one of these. Hopefully, why is it not taking it? Do I need to let go of it? Oh, there we go. That was all right, wasn't it? So the new things we've got in, we can do just as they are. So I have to say, just using that alone, to me, is brilliant. As replacements for the ones we've got already, because it adds in the new ones, because you can use the old ones. But what it does also say is, oh, well, pallets are liftable. So you don't necessarily have to have the liftable pallet mod. They are liftable, part of this mod. And it does say faster production times and cheaper costs. So they're going to produce much faster anyway, and it's going to be cheaper to produce. So that alone, to me, is absolutely fantastic. Then we get onto this. I'll put some of those already over there. That's thumbnail stuff. So what we've got here then is the packing facility, and this is where things get really interesting. So as you can see, bottom right, I've already put some things in, because this is where it takes, well, everything that you've produced plus some things that you haven't produced in this pack. So it will package these. So you've got foods, objects, and liquids. So for a package of foods, you need cake, ketchup, salad, crisps, and cereal. 4 of those we can get from the food production building, the Otis building, but cake you can't. So you've got to have the bakery as well. So all the flour and stuff that's going off, you're going to need the bakery running, because you need cake as part of this recipe. The objects one needs furniture, it needs the wood pallets, but it needs clothes. So yes, we have got fabric being produced, but you're going to need the tailors, because you need the fabric to go to the tailors to produce the clothes to make that recipe up. And then liquids, we've got soy milk, we've got canola oil. So in the other process we used sunflower oil and olive oil, but you're going to need to have an oil plant of some description running and do canola. Again, you've got to do all the crop types, because you're going to need canola oil for this recipe, and then syrup. So 2 of those we produced already, but you're going to need canola oil. So what I've done over to the side, I've put some of the things in that required other processes. So cake I put in, cereal, furniture, clothes, and canola oil I put in, but it also requires the other things from this set: ketchup, salad, crisps, pellets, soy milk, syrups. Now, this is where things get a little bit more complicated. I can, at the bottom here, we've got foods, objects, and liquids. That's what I'm hoping to produce. That's what I want to have coming out the other end. Now, if I put those on storing, it will store them in here. So foods, objects, and liquids, it will store them. It gets complicated. No, hang on. Is that right? Distributing. Anyway, whichever way around, I'm going to test both of them. Because if they come out as a pallet of foods, if I just want to run that recipe and get foods coming out, I can sell a food pallet and make money. I can do an objects pallet and make money. I can do a liquid pallet and make money. If I do all of them and have them put in here, storing in here, we've got one down here that says reputation. If you set all of these, I think it is all of these, if not one of them, to what it says at the bottom: individual packages, foods, objects, liquids can be sold. Important, to produce reputation, you need to set foods, objects, and liquids to distribution. So on here, I would set those to distribution, and reputation requires all 3 of those, and then you get reputation, I think, pallets, because I need to produce those now. That's the next step in this process. Why is this important? Well, it's the prices, and this is where you make mega money. So we're going to go up to the pricing, and now we're going to go down one. A food pallet 72,000, 76,000, 76,000 for a food pallet. So if I've done all of that work, all of those productions, and I bring it all into here and I'm making a foods pallet, I can sell a food pallet for that. That's nuts. An objects pallet, similar pricing, 77,000, 78, 77. A liquids pallet, 79, 75, 80, depends on the sell points you've got placed. The selling station at the bottom is the one that comes with this pack. And then we go on to the reputation. So if we put all of those onto distributing and we get reputation palette coming out, so you've got to then be producing everything, all of the recipes, all of the production chains, pretty much everything. And then we get reputation. Look at the price of those. 298 grand, 297, 317,000. So what I'm going to do first of all, I think this is right. This is what I'm going to test first. Anyway, I'm going to put these three on storing. All the others are all now processing, although they're all saying distributing. They all should be distributing to here by now. I'm worried that this isn't going to work. They should be automatically coming here. If not, I might have to do them as pallets and then bring them here. But that I definitely need on. It's on distributing. I'll put all of it on. So I'm going to do is speed up time, and hopefully I should get some stuff appearing in here. Like I say, I've got these set on storing, so I want to get up at least a pallet of each if I can. Then once I've got a pallet of each of those, we'll have a look at that. We'll sell one of each maybe. And then I'll set it to distributing, and hopefully we'll get one of those. That's the plan. So I'm going to see you hopefully in a minute. I'll speed up time and I'll just check off camera to make sure these are doing what they should be doing. Obviously some of these processes that I've set to distributing would be distributing to other production chains like the bakery, like the tailors, that kind of thing. So that's not a problem. Because what I've done is put those products into there already just so we can get it running. So I'm going to see you in a little bit. Hopefully we'll get a pallet or two or three, and then we'll try and get a reputation one as well. So a lot of new products, a lot of new processes. Prices of the buildings are brilliant. Slot counts are really good. Running any one of these as an additional or a building in its own right I think is great anyway. But I'm really curious to see about this this packing facility, how this pans out. See you in a bit. The good news is, with time sped up, if I click onto here now, we'll see everything that should be distributing is distributing across to here. I set my foods, objects and liquids on. So what I've now got here under storing, I've got foods, objects and liquids being produced. So everything that should be distributing is, from all the other productions, it is coming in to our packing facility, and we are getting stuff here. I'm probably going to be dark, but it'll probably be in the morning now. So we should get some pallets appearing on there. So then what I will do is I will then switch those to distributing. I will turn on reputation, and hopefully we'll then get a reputation pallet. But I want to do these pallets first and see what happens. Yeah, it's pretty dark. I don't know if the pallets are 1,000 litres or more. I would say they're likely to be 1,000, but I could be wrong. I'm hoping that one's going to suddenly appear. And there we have it. Is that one of each? There we go. So let me just put that onto distributing, that onto distributing, that onto distributing. They're all still running. I'm going to put then that onto work. That's on storing. So I know it's dark. Packing facility. Oh, we've got one of each. This is crazy. Can we pick these up? We can. Let's move that out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till the morning. Oh, it's going to pour down the rain, isn't it? There it comes. My cardboard boxes are all going to get soggy. And then hopefully we'll get a reputation pallet. And I mean, watching this video, yes, I guess I've kind of made it look easy. There was a lot of prep and a lot of setup, and if you're running this on a farm and you're gradually building up and you're gradually doing your production chains and that kind of stuff, this is going to take a long time to get to this point. Of course it is. I've done this for the purposes of making the video. My reputation pallet bottom right is sitting at 218, 219. It's climbing. All this other stuff is storing. So hopefully, sometime later on, everything else is chugging away. It's all coming in. It's all doing what it should be. We'll get that reputation pallet. Very exciting, isn't it? So I'm going to do, actually, you know what, I'm going to do it now. Let's sell one of these because I'm really, really curious. 61,900. I assume the prices have changed, but that's still 65 grand. £64 grand for 3 pallets. And it seems like, well, yeah, but it's only 3 pallets, that's crazy. But then you've got to look at everything that's been required. I can't emphasise that enough. I know I've said it a few times. All the infrastructure required, and we have used everything. Every crop type, every pallet, every production has been used. Let's come back to here, how we're looking. Okay, we're way off. I think we're going to be tomorrow morning looking at that. Well then, it's the next morning. We have got a pallet of each. And then we have got our reputation pallet as well. Now, I suppose there could be some argument to say, if you look at all the products that are there, if you sold all of the products rather than do these, could you make more money? I mean, that would be quite the test. I mean, that would be a huge amount of stuff, because I'm not going to lie, if we go up and look at everything on here now that's been brought over into storage, I mean, there's a lot over here. With furniture, 114,000, pellets 68, soy milk, canola oil, syrups. I mean, we've used pretty much, if we go up along the side of these, we're okay for our sugar products. Our fabric, the spinner is okay. This one here, we ran out of tomatoes and potatoes, but everything else is pretty good. So it did use a heavier amount of potatoes and tomatoes. If we go up to here, interestingly, wheat, we've got loads left. Barley, oat, sorghum, all gone. And we had 250,000 litres in there, although that does say 999,000 litres distributing. Oh, of course, because that would normally go to the bakery. That's why. That's just maxed out. So all of that, I've got 1 million of what? So that would be 1 million pallets of flour. Yeah, that's crazy. So that would have been going to the bakery. And then we go up to here. What did we run out of? Oh no, we're still all right. Could have carried on going with that. Was it butter? No, milk's still there. We've got a bit of everything. And this one as well. So it was really only the grain mill, and that only stopped or ran out because we hit the max for flour. So if I put that on storing now, that would be horrifying. Although I'm curious to see. But I did put 250,000 litres of each in there for the test. So anyway, that being said, I'm digressing. Let's grab this. 287,363. So the prices obviously have fallen somewhat. Let's have a look at the pricing here. What's it telling me? Reputation, yeah, prices have come down. So I guess holding on to those pallets until the price is absolutely fantastic would be the best bet. These are still not looking too bad. The foods is a bit lower. Yeah, like I say, it depends where you take them to. But I've got some of each. And that's how it works. Yeah, it's a big undertaking. I mean, I'm looking at probably running a few of these, 1 or 2, because I'm interested in doing stuff like this. Wood pellets. I've got a load of wood chips. Why not? It's going to make wood pellets. I can make money out of those. I'll get more money for these than I will do for selling the wood chips, so I absolutely might as well do it. Plus, it's the carpentry, so I can still do furniture as well. Why not? I've got planks I'm producing on my Let's Play, so I can do that. Am I going to run the full setup? I would say multiplayer map. to produce everything, every commodity in enough quantity to run that, it's not impossible to do single player, but I would say multiplayer would make life a lot easier. So there we go. Kind of a guide to, kind of a mod review, kind of a, you know, this is it, this is how it works, this is what you get in the pack. That's the packing facility by CookieCat. It's a crazy new mod. It's a mega money maker. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.